First on our agenda tonight for the building and grounds would be the Honeywell platform information.
Right, that was something Ken and I have been looking at with this XP going away, and the system is on the XP, and I guess Ken can explain it a little bit more. He's had conversation with Mark Reinfeld, who is a gentleman from Honeywell that we deal with on the automation system.
So I might have been a few months back when I was at Ken's office, we were looking at other issues in his machine, and I said, you know, Ken, I'd really like to get you off of XP. They're going to be stopping support security patches in April. We've already started migrating other portions. But then he said, well, I don't know if that's going to work because I use my control software on the machine, which is running XP. So, okay, well, let's figure out what we can do. So I did talk to Mark a few times. We did, I mean, even trying to, you know, I said, what are our options? Can we virtualize? Does that help us anything? While we can virtualize a machine and not have to update his physical machine, their software, unfortunately, isn't necessarily going to virtualize and cut us any costs in that sense, you know. So, it come up a couple, whenever your last meeting was, you know, can you come in and talk about virtualizing and if that helps. It'll help us in getting away from having to the physical machine to replace Ken's, but that's about the only avoidance of cost, I guess, in what the solution he's looking at as far as updating to the next platform for his controls.
So you're going to virtualize it? Gonna try.
I could, yeah, but
I mean, it's what, $400?
for us to virtualize, it's not, I mean, I can only, like I said, I can virtualize the, but it's not even that much. I have a site license to virtualize a machine, but that's not going to solve the rest of the cost in the proposal, though.
What's the update?
$19,862.
To do what?
Well, it's actually down, I mean, it's down somewhat now. Ken's got the latest figure because him and Mark just.
Okay.
So it's down, he had included a machine in there for like, I don't know, it was like $910, so it's down, minus that physical workstation, it's down to $18,952.
For software, just their new package?
Yes.
Okay, so if we don't use the new package, and we just virtualize it, use the old package, which is working fine,
But we're still not getting away from, we'd have to virtualize and run an XP machine.
so what?
If you guys are okay with security patches and
That's all right.
loopholes and
I
things.
got that was virtualizing Windows 98 with my machine. XP's all over the place in virtual. I mean, I got a virtualization on my laptop for Windows XP because I run 7 different software packages and have to have it. I don't see why you wouldn't virtualize it, just do XP.
That's the only concern I have is the security patches and issues. That's really it is. If you look online, even with the ESI machine, we haven't updated anything like that. You look online, you Google it, and you can certainly go in. I don't want to be an alarmist. You can certainly go in and hack the ESI machine if you want and start messing around with the controls. So that's my concern is we're not having a device that's up go to keep up with securities and patches. That's all I'm concerned about.
I agree with Dan. The first thing is let's try out upgrading the computer to Windows 7 or whatever you're running these days and running a virtualization on it. See if the package runs okay on that. If somebody's really interested in hacking our utility or our
Like I said, I just want to throw it out there and let it know just that that is that.
I personally have a dislike for any software that's more than $50, and for a corporation, $500. You're talking $18,900. What are we getting for that? I don't see that we're getting that much for it.
Everything has to be, I mean, the graphics, everything has to be changed to run from XP to Windows 7. That's where most of that cost comes in. It's not just the something, because nothing on that system now is the same with 7. So that the graphics, everything has to be changed in order to run it.
What advantage would you have with this spending almost $19,000?
Well, it was just, before we talk about going into virtualizing it, it was just the fact that, I mean, if XP went down, I would have no control over 3 buildings. If they can virtualize it and it will work, yeah, I guess there's not a problem. Again, but what happens now down the road, I mean, if something happens a year from now with that system, I mean, are we back in the same boat and now it's 25,000? I guess I'm just,
Well, not with virtualization, I mean, you just carry it from machine to machine. So 2, 3 laptops later, you still virtualize XP. Like I said, I got old stuff on virtualizing on Windows 98. XP is no issue at all. You haven't had a problem with that at all.
But I mean, keep in mind, if we're not gonna change over, there isn't really any difference. We could just continue running XP on his desktop right now. That's what you guys want to do. That's fine. We don't have to, that takes virtualization out of it. We'll just keep running it the way it is.
Yeah,
So-
do you have any depth?
Just because of the, I'm just concerned about the securities and patches. That's really what I'm concerned with more than anything, so.
If there was some reason why you would want to upgrade it other than having new pictures, if it handled controls better or something else would save the district money over time, I would be interested, but boy, this doesn't seem, seems like a lot of money for
Yeah.
what you're getting.
well, that, the new system, the new EDI system with Honeywell, which would be a part of the upgrade, that gives the district a lot more options if we want to add things. I mean, lighting controls, automatic shutdowns of, when, motion controls, those types of things where the system now doesn't have that capability. Their system doesn't have that capability. But I mean, if at some point you really wanted to get into automating,
But you'd have to change all the controllers too. You're not gonna do it with our controllers.
You need to add equipment to
You
that.
gotta add equipment for that.
Right.
We don't have zone control on lights right now that you can
Correct.
control like that.
but I'm just
that's
saying that the software then is
Yeah.
compatible to doing that, where
So
the
that's-
software now isn't.
That's a discussion when you get to that point, if you ever got to that point.
Right.
Yeah. I think you're fine virtualizing it, if it's cheap, go for it.
To be honest, if we're not going to do that, we don't need to virtualize it.
Yeah,
We have to just continue running his machine the way it is.
And if we gotta put that one aside just for controlling the HVAC system, just do that.
Is that the only software that's running on that machine?
No, he's got other things running. I'm not sure.
Why wouldn't you have Windows 7 for everything else and then a virtualization or finance for XP on just that software?
Well, that is an XP computer, right?
It is.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
why not leave it?
currently is.
Yeah, just leave it that way. Should be fine. If you go for a new computer someday, obviously you're gonna have to go with Windows 7 or Windows 8 or whatever,
Yeah.
or Windows 26, or whatever it is. You're still gonna virtualize it at that point. You'll get the same use out of it.
Before that time comes, it would be good to verify that you can run it on a virtualized machine.
Sure. He mentioned you can run in a virtual environment, but again, in this scenario, it's a horse apiece. It doesn't make sense to virtualize if you're not going to Windows 7.
Part of the discussion has been, if this machine were to go down, what would we do? And it would be good to have it verified that it's operational before
Sure.
the machine would go down.
Don't we have the same controls on the main server? And if not, can we put the same controller on the main
What was that, I'm sorry?
program you have on the laptop? Can't we put that on the main server, virtualize it on there, and that way we have your laptop or the main server to go to? When you're in the building, you don't go to your laptop, do you?
No, I go to my desktop.
Okay, so the desktop is off the main server, must have it virtualized somewhere or something.
It's locally, for that control, it's locally installed on his machine.
So he has a
Yeah.
dock station or something?
And just a desktop. He just has a desktop there that he accesses the software from.
Okay, so he doesn't have a laptop.
He also has
No, at his office, he's got it, yeah, it's just standalone desktop.
Oh, desktop, okay. I was looking at something, a laptop, if he was doing it, oh, he's doing it from home or something.
Yes.
Okay, but if he's at home, he's remotely controlling his desktop here. Correct. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have an extra laptop flying around with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just remoting, yeah, I mean, the physical software is on that desktop. So it's only- yeah, that's powering it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Motion table.
I'll second that. Next, we have clean power bid for 2014-15.
I believe you all have a copy of that. questions on it?
Paul, do you have any questions on it? Just trying to see how
We have comps.
it's 1.85.
No change in 2015 and in 2016, a 3% increase.
I just had them go out 3 years, just to give you an idea of what, you know, what the numbers look like for 1 year versus 3 years, if you would so choose to, you know, give them a 2-year or a 3-year contract.
This I would be interested in two-year. Two-year contract and then by 2016, look at the comps.
I'll second that.
Do we get comps for this one?
I guess we didn't feel the need to bid it out. At this point, it gave us a 0% increase this year. And flip companies so quickly after we've just gotten them.
Okay, yep.